Alright. What's up, YouTube? Got a question the other day on kind of like my overview on the Nicrew hyperreef 50 watt. Um, I've had it for, well, end of this month will be a year. The light is super simple to use. It has the same controller as Kessel, I believe. You got blues and you got whites. Now this light has blue and violet, I believe, and then whites, reds, green, but it all considers whites, your reds and your greens all mixed together. So it's like you have your whites and your blues. You make it super simple. You ain't got to worry about, like, do I need to balance, more blue or more violet? It's super easy, user-friendly light. Highly recommend getting the controller. It's one of those things that you definitely should get just because it helps with setting it up how you want the light to look, kind of thing. Excuse me, sorry. It does have what you would call like presets up on the top. You got your white, you got your blue. I'm not really sure because I never used that part. I used the controller from day one. I knew I wanted the controller. I could set up my times, how I wanted my ramp up, ramp down. Jeez, excuse me. But overview, this thing, it grows coral no problem. I mean, it will grow the SPS that I have up top. I have a green slimer that's just, it just encrusted almost the whole entire plug. Shot I don't know, probably a 2-inch shoot off the bottom. I've only had it probably 6 months, I think, for that slimer. We got the Garf Bonsai up in there. That's encrusting the whole plug now. I've had that for about a month. The Oregon Tort, same thing, encrusted the whole plug. Got that the same time as the Garf Bonsai. The Montipora Forest Fire Digi just grows like crazy. It's a little pale right now because I'm pretty sure I'm having a phosphate issue that's causing that. So I'm slowly working into lowering my phosphates. But everything else, this light does that and then some for a beginner coral enthusiast, I guess you would say. Light works perfect. I've been doing on and off since 2009 reef tanks. I started with like a small 10-gallon and we were doing compact fluorescence back then. At least the one that I was. I upgraded to a 30-gallon, which I didn't like. Went down to a 20 long and I had a 150 watt metal halide on it. Don't get me wrong, metal halides grow like crazy, but they have some serious heat behind them. And then I eventually built a 40 breeder. I had a Kessel tuna blue on that, 360 tuna blue, and that was my first dive into, I guess you would say, LED lighting. That grew coral no problem too. I mean, it's the LEDs grow and they really get a good color on a lot of the corals. But this one, I mean, you're talking bang for buck. A Nicrew, I think it was $100, $150 all said and done with the controller. And from day one, it hasn't disappointed me. My thought process is if I can do something in this hobby to save money to get the same results as, some of the bigger money, I don't want to even call them gimmicks because a lot of them, they work. So it's not a gimmick. It's just, for me, I like to save the money for the coral. And as long as it grows the coral, that's all I care about. I don't care about, super fancy gadgets and lightning modes and all that. I want it to come on and I want it to go off when I want it to, and I want it to be the color spectrum that I like. This system, I have it set up on a 1 hour ramp up to 100% blues, and then it stays at 100% blues all day until it ramps down, which I think it's a 11 hour, no, it's a 10 hour 100% blues and a ramp down. It has a 1 hour ramp up and a 1 hour ramp down. And then middle of the day, I have a 5% peak of whites. So my whites only get up to 5%, and I think it's maybe a half an hour that they stay there, and then they slowly work their way back down. I just really like the pop of the blue, and honestly, the corals are growing, so I don't know as if I really need much more light than that. I did have a blasto that was starting to show a little bit of white on it, so I kind of backed it off. I did have it at 10% at one point, but this light will do, so far, will do everything that I could think of for a price tag that is far less than some of the big names. I do the same thing when it comes to wave makers. Back in the day, I didn't want to spend the money on a Ecotech, an MP10 or an MP40 on my 40 breeder build. So what did I do? I made a MaxiJet mod. And I had 2 MaxiJet mods in there, and that thing really just, it made enough flow for, I think each mod was probably $60 all said and done, each one. You're talking, I don't even know what an Ecotech is because I don't even look at them anymore, but you're talking a few $100s for a wave maker when you can have one for, at the time, $60 that would do the same thing. No controller on those, but nowadays, like this Hyger Mini, this thing, 1,600 gallons per hour at full tilt. I have it at full tilt for 2 settings during the day, and then it's on random wave mode, I think, throughout the rest of the night. So, 3 settings during the day. So, 2, 3, and 4 setting of time, which is like midday, early midday, late midday. It's on 100% flow. The rest of the time it's on random reef flow, I believe. But when it comes to it, the price of these things is my big pusher, I guess you would say. Can I make something, or can I get the same results for less price? Yes, it's possible. The Nicrew light will do that, no problem. The Hyger Wave Maker, no problem. I do have to say, the Hyger is a little, you probably should clean it a little bit more often. Once it starts getting dirty, it definitely loses some oomph, but it's super easy to clean. A simple 2 seconds, you just twist it, pull it out, brush it off with a brush, put it all back together. You're talking less than 2 minutes to clean a power head. But as for the light, I know this video is supposed to be about the light. It does everything you would want it to. Has great color. It's a little bit more purple than a lot of people like, but for me, it really gives a good pop to the coral in this tank, and something that I really like is the blue. So, when it comes down to it, keep it simple, and I don't like to go too crazy, but let me try and get you guys a video of the way I have it set up on my controller. Alright, so here's the controller. Like I said, it's a Kessel controller. That's exactly the same thing that my old Kessel had, was this right here. As you can see right now, it's at 5% white, 100% blues. And let me go to here. So, 8 o'clock in the morning it starts up. 100% blues at 9. From 9 to, 2, it ramps up to 5% blues, and then back down, and then at the end of the day, I also like to keep it at 5% just for another hour, just so that I can kind of look at it at super low blues. I don't know, I like that. It's just my thing. But this control, it's super easy. Has a magnetic back. You just put it anywhere that you find that it works, and go with it, It does have, I believe, it comes with a couple of presets. I don't mess with that. You go into your, where am I here? Your modes. You can do like quick sets, your settings, display. I mean, it's a super simple. You got blues and you got whites. How much do I want the blues up? How much do I want the blues down? That's just how it is. But that's just my overview of the Nicrew. It's not hot, never gets hot. Fan comes on once in a blue moon. Um, it's got a great mounting system. The system comes with the light, so for the price, you can't beat it. I mean, you're talking $150. You got the light, you got the mount, you got the controller. Will it grow coral? Yes. Does it have great color? Also yes. Has it worked for me? No problems? Yes. I mean, I haven't had a single issue with this light. It hasn't gone black. It hasn't had um, a diode go bad. It hasn't done anything bad. Will something eventually? Maybe. I mean, for the price you're paying, for me, I mean, if something goes bad after a couple of years, just buy another one. What's the problem? You already have the controller, another $100 for a light, and you're golden. You're going again. And then you got a backup, what's it called? Mount if you need it. It does do what it's supposed to do very well, and that's why I highly recommend it on like the Facebook forums and stuff. Like one of the things I'll do is people will post, what's a good light for me, and the AI blades are the new thing now, and for the price point of an AI blade, buy one of these. It'll grow SPS, LPS, softies, whatever you want, and it's still less than a 12-inch blade. And you get a controller and a mount, and I think they look sleek. They look good. I don't know. Give them a go. I really think you should. I've seen some people that have them on grow out tanks, frag tanks. I've never measured par once on this. I kind of just, like I said before, I go off of what the corals look like, and if I'm getting too much, I'll just back it up. But I've seen people that use these in a grow out, and they do well. I've seen some, slightly better coloration out of a Kessel, but at the end of the day, does it grow the coral? Does the coral still look good? Yes. Are you going to worry about, as a, entry-level hobbyist, spending buttloads of money? Are you really going to worry about the perfect coloration of a coral? Probably not. So that's why I kind of go with these. I'm not so worried about the coloration being perfect. Will it grow? Yes. Down the road, am I maybe going to change something? Maybe. But right now, it's working, and I love it. My buddy has it, Fish Guy 207. He's got 100 watt on his 32 Fluval. I think maybe just because of how small it is, it's two of these basically put together. So the footprint, it doesn't have a very wide footprint for what it is. Maybe it would have been better to go with 250 watts because they will daisy chain, but it works. And if you can, find the spots where your coral like the light, like the flow, it will grow. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars on a setup for a reef tank for it to do what all these big, high-end, great-looking coral reef tanks do. You can have a Fluval all-in-one like this Evo, cheap light, cheap pump, Wavemaker pump. I also have an upgraded return pump, but I don't have an electronic auto top off. It's a gravity feed that I custom fit to this thing. You can be successful with saving money. There's no way around it nowadays. Back in the day, it was difficult. Nowadays, I'm going to say it's not that bad. But, my philosophy again is cheap, do it the same as the big guys, see if I can do it. I like to test stuff out like that. This one I've never run the Nicrew before, and I had to give it a go. So if you guys like the video, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You got any questions about the Nicrew, just hit me up in the comments. You got any questions about the Higer, hit me up in the comments. Maybe my auto feeder, that's cheap too. Super easy. You don't have to worry about feeding your fish. It works. That's the thing, What works for me? What can I do to make it easier and enjoy the tank more often? That's my philosophy. That's what I do. And yeah, this is the Maine Reef Nano. Let me know what you think.